knowledge that you gain, it's gon' hurt my nigga, R.I.P. Dr. Say, I think they murked my nigga, I view the stars like astrology, we hit the club and demolish it, that jury shine like Apollo, I'm plugged in like a fire stick, we screaming R.I.P. Malcolm.
Peace family. This video right here is about dietary science. And so that being said, we're going to be starting all the way from the diet of a meat eater, breaking that science down and working our way up all the way through people who eat fish or seafood only, aka pescatarian, vegetarianism, veganism, all the way to alkaline water, what is and what is not safe to drink. So we're going to start at the diet of a carnivore, aka somebody who eats meat exclusively. Now you got some of y'all out there who won't even eat the vegetables off your plate. Okay, I don't like vegetables. I don't use a carnivore. And so, without further ado, okay, we're gonna break down the natural means of why it's not fully safe to eat, and then the unnatural means of why it's not fully safe to eat. Now, meat, of course, is not fully safe to eat because we know it clogs the arteries with extra fat. You know, this induces heart attack. We know that the blood of the animal contains fear hormones that alter the psychological state of yourself, which puts you in a state of anxiety and fear because this is the means in which the animal died. We know that other bacteria can be introduced to your body through the meat, such as fecal matter, if you like to eat things such as chitlins. Also, chickens are very dirty as well, just like pigs. Speaking of pigs and pork, a pig is a genetically engineered animal. It's the mix combination of a muskrat, a bobcat, and a hyena. Go look this up. And so that being said, a pig is a genetically engineered animal. This is why you're not supposed to eat pork. We know that pork can't get rid of any bacterial substances, infections, diseases, or anything. A pig can be bitten by a rattlesnake and not die because the venom will just come out of the hooves. A pig carries 99.9% of tapeworms and parasites, etc. And so, eating meat, okay, is bad for you on a bacterial level, parasitic level, spiritual level, psychological level, etc. Because we understand also that when you eat blood, when you digest blood, you digest frequency. And the frequency of the carnivore that you're eating puts you on what is known as the carnal plane. And so this is why they say you in your carnal self and your lower self, because you're in an animal state. And so I give this example to people all the time. You don't really see vegans on trial for murder. Okay? Not a coincidence. We're not saying people who are vegans are the most upstanding people on the planet. No. But what I'm saying is you don't see vegans on trial for murder, okay? Nobody drinks a smoothie and then does a drive-by. It doesn't happen like that. And so there's a reason for this. Because the frequency of the food is putting the body in a higher state of vibration as opposed to digesting blood and pus. And so, now, is it safe to eat meat naturally? No. But you must do what you have to do. Now, I say that because of this, right? Depending upon where you live will determine your dietary state. We know that Aboriginals, Indigenous Americans, Indians, black people who was already over here, whatever you want to call them, we know that they were vegan by summer and spring and carnivores by fall and winter because there's no vegetables in 5 and 6 feet of snow. And so that being said, this is why when they killed a buffalo or a deer, etc., they used every part of the animal and they did spiritual means upon the corpse of the animal to let the spirit world know and the ancestors know that they were sorry for taking a life and they were only doing it because they had to, because they had nothing else to eat. And so they would take every aspect of the animal from its skin, its bones, etc., and make it into an object which could be utilized to show that they were not being wasteful towards the life that they took. And so even for the ancients who ate meat, it was only strictly because they had to. Not because they just wanted some goddamn chicken because it tastes good, okay? So now, we go on to the next level of when you say, okay, I'm not eating meat no more. Oh, excuse me, I'm not even done. Now we gotta go to the unnatural means of meat. Now, why is meat unnaturally safe to eat? Because they're injecting it with cancer cells, radiation, okay? The majority of the meat on the shelves in the store be old, and they be respraying it with fresh blood. This meat be damn a year or two old, and they respray it with fresh blood. And then some of them, they package it with carbon dioxide because it makes that meat allegedly preserves the meat. It makes it age slower. And this is, you can tell these type of packages because when you touch them, or when you, like, next time you go to Tops or wherever you shop at and you touch a meat package, you'll see it looks like it's puffed up and they got that air inside of it. That's carbon dioxide. And they're using that to actually preserve the aging of the meat. So this meat could be 2-3 years old. You would never know because they sprayed it with fresh blood and they put carbon dioxide inside the package. And so on top of that, the false preservation of the product, okay, in regards to unnatural length time, all right, to make it age slower, they're injecting these meats with cancer cells and all kind of things that purposely biochemically upset the body, which will induce you into a state of physical illness to where you will need to go to the hospital and hopefully you don't die. So chicken is just as dangerous as cigarettes. Now, that's the natural and unnatural means for eating meat. Now let's go to fish eaters or seafood eaters, right? Some people say, I only eat seafood, I don't eat chicken, beef, or pork. Okay, fish, okay? Some of the fish, the good majority of the fish that you eat is bottom feeding fish, which is the equivalent to eating pork or roaches, such as shrimp is a bottom feeder, okay? A lot of fish, okay, is naturally filthy and carries parasites, okay? Because the water that it lives in is contaminated thanks to America and these CEO companies constantly dumping shit into the water or messing up the natural habitat to where the water can naturally cleanse itself. So instead of flowing the way it should be, it's more so unnaturally stagnant, causing more bacteria and parasites to fester within this body of water, infecting and contaminating the fish. So a lot of this fish is goddamn contaminated. Now, with that being said, the unnatural health problems for eating fish is what? Same as meat. They're injecting it with cancer cells and all kind of things that poison the body. And using the same deceitful ass tactics, okay, that they're using on meat to preserve the life of the fish unnaturally. So before we even go to, okay, vegetarianism and veganism and alkaline water and its negative properties, okay? Yes, alkaline water has negative properties too. I'm sorry, nigga. Yes, it does. Okay, before we even go here, okay? Let me say this. I know what you're thinking if you're a meat eater and you're watching this, right? Oh my God. Well, where am I supposed to get my protein from? You don't get protein from meat. That's one of the biggest lies you've ever been told. Now, you get protein from nitrogen, which is in the atmosphere. You technically don't even get it from plants, okay? And so, boom, let's go into this. How do you get protein? If you think you get it from animals, I'm going to tell you why you don't. The animals get it straight from the plant. So you're getting watered down second-hand version of protein. So when plants perform photosynthesis, okay, and they digest the nitrogen chemical out of the atmosphere, they extract protein out of the nitrogen through the process of photosynthesis. The cows that you like to eat and the meat-eating animals that you like to eat the plants, okay? This is why the strongest animals in the world are herbivores, aka plant eaters, because they're eating protein all day. And so this animal eats the plant, its digestive system further breaks down the protein, watering it down even more. And then you eat the animal, digesting the protein and watering it down even more. And so you're getting protein from a second-hand source when you could be going straight to the source, which is the plant. And if you was a breatharian, okay, or you knew how to breathe properly, you would be getting protein out of the oxygen just like the plant, because human photosynthesis is actually possible, okay? Okay, and so with that being said, I'll go into breatharianism last. But I wanted to say that, just for people who make excuses, such as saying, oh, I can't stop eating meat because where I'm going to get my protein from. The same place that the meat that you're eating gets its protein from. A plant, asshole. And so now let's go to vegetarianism. Now, if you don't know, there's a difference between vegetarianism and veganism, because vegans don't eat any dairy or other products that vegetarians eat. So vegetarians don't eat meat, but they still indulge in products such as dairy, etc. So now, the harmful benefits of dairy, okay? Natural and unnatural. We understand that dairy introduces mucus to the body. Mucus lives off of disease, etc. Okay, and without any mucus in the body, that there can be no disease. And we understand that oxygen cleans the body. Okay, so keeping the body clean, free from mucus, allows oxygen to flow throughout the body. Doesn't give disease anything to harvest on or grow on, and it keeps your body in optimal functioning state. Now, why is this important? What is the unnatural benefits of eating dairy? Well, if you eat dairy, you are engaging in animal rape, okay, and savage industrial practices. So the way that you even get dairy is because they're taking baby cows and baby animals from their mother at early age, as soon as they can be fertilized, and they're literally putting on gloves and forcing their hands and forcing objects and tools and technology into the vagina of these animals, okay, and forcefully impregnating them over and over and over. So they're literally raping these animals so that you can have dairy. And so the negative aspects about eating dairy is the unseen aspects, because spiritually you are contributing to demonic behavior of another animal just so you can have some unnatural substance. Now don't worry, folks, because there's vegan cheese, there's vegan motherfucking ice cream, there's vegan versions of whatever it is you like to eat, to where you don't have to contribute to the rape and molestation and savage fucking behavior of other animals on this planet, because your ass is too lazy to make one small differentiation in your purchase. Same product, just one is healthier and one is better for the life of an animal. Because I say this, what if some animals came down and they decided they wanted to eat your ass, okay? And they wanted your ass for dairy, and they took you and took your wife and took your mother and took your sister and kept forcefully raping your motherfucking ass and making sperm injections and making incisions into your body so that you can produce food for them to eat, all because they was too lazy to eat the natural version. You wouldn't like it, would you? And so this is why you should make more practical and healthy decisions, so that you don't become the same demon on the planet Earth that you wouldn't want to be here doing the same to you. And so with that being said, let's continue on. Now we're going to put, now that I handle dairy, we're going to handle vegetarianism and veganism in the same light, okay? Because we're dealing with fruits and vegetables. Now this is per Dr. Sebi. Anything with starch is man-made, okay? So this is coming from Dr. Sebi's teachings. Now, we know that starch is what? It's a chemical, not a food. It's a chemical which is used to glue broken molecule strands together to make unnatural entities come together in combination to form a substance. So anything that has starch is basically a hybrid man-made food. So this includes the majority of potatoes, corn, carrots, spinach, a whole lot of rices, just go get a list of foods and fruits and vegetables that contain starch, and you'll be surprised how many of these shits is man-made. And so that being said, here's the trick. You thought you were eating healthy. We all thought we were eating healthy. And then we find out we were eating bullshit, okay? And so even fruits and vegetables ain't safe. So when you tell your kids, don't eat your spinach, eat your carrots, okay, you telling them eat your starch, which is not natural and not healthy to the body, because the body can't break down starch, because it's not a food, it's a chemical. Just like bleach is not a food, it's a chemical. And so that being said, here we are as humans thinking that we're doing a good deed, not eating meat, and we're not even eating natural goddamn fruits and vegetables. And so we ask ourselves, where do we turn? And then for those of us who do eat a good majority of fruits and vegetables, a lot of these fruits and vegetables are sprayed with pesticides, or they're GMO. So they're still not real. So the starch ones are sprayed with pesticides and they're GMO. The ones that don't have starch still are sprayed with pesticides and don't have GMO. And then the ones that are not GMO, okay, you'd be lucky to fucking get, depending on where you live in America. And so if you live somewhere where it snows, I doubt if you're eating a naturally healthy vegetarian diet. I like to highly doubt that, okay? Including myself, I live in Buffalo. During the wintertime, I like to doubt that they're doing right by us with these farms. And so, with that being said, let's continue on now. Now we want to go to water, okay? Now I know a lot of y'all like to say, oh, alkaline water is the best and they gotta be point this and point that. Let me break your heart and crush your dreams, okay? Alkaline water is not necessarily healthy. The most healthiest water is diluted water, okay? Now, I know a lot of y'all are going to be upset about this, but I have to bring the facts as I always do. Why is alkaline water not completely healthy for the body? Because alkaline water, if it's processed, okay, contains pieces of chemicals, metals, materials, etc. So the way that you test this is you get you a TDS meter. TDS stands for total dissolved solids. And what this total dissolved solids meter does is it detects any solids or chemicals unnaturally dissolved into your water per millionth piece. Piece per million. And so it's registered as ppm, piece per million. And so the thing about alkaline water is, if your water is, let me give you an example. We know that tap water is processed, it's taken back through a plant, they put all kind of chemicals in there, all kind of shit is dissolved in there because people flush shit down the drain, people take boo-boos, pee-pees, wash dishes, all kind of stuff, you wash your clothes, and so all of these things, you throw stuff down the sewer on the street, and so all of these things are being dissolved into the water. So by the time they take it back to the power plant, this water is filthy. They just make it clear again because they spray chemicals in there that give you the illusion of them cleaning it, just like being in a pool. But what the TDS meter does, aka when you dip into the water, is it detects how many pieces are in there per million. And so if you put it in tap water, you might get like 500, 600 reading ppm. So that means it's 500 to 600 pieces per million within this water. Now, why does this apply to alkaline water? Some alkaline water is processed, which means you have pieces in here of minerals, right? Now, when we're talking about minerals, there's two types of minerals. Organic and inorganic. So just because they say it's minerals in the fucking alkaline water does not mean they're talking about organic minerals. They could be talking about inorganic minerals such as metals, etc., aluminum, lead, okay? And so if you drink alkaline water just because it says minerals in there does not mean that it's natural minerals. It could be inorganic minerals, which means these are compounds that the body cannot break down. So yes, you're drinking water that is supposed to be healthy, but it contains contaminants which are not healthy. Now, I know what you're finna say next. Oh, well, what about alkaline water that they get from the springs or that they get from nature? Okay, the companies around these springs have set up enclosures to where this water cannot naturally flow. Now, flowing water creates electricity, which creates electrons and permeates itself with electrolytes to where the water is actually living. Now, the way that you can tell living water, okay, is because when you freeze it, it forms the shape of what you would call a snowflake, or in sacred geometry, a dodecahedron. It actually forms a crystallized symmetrical pattern. That's how you can tell if water is living and it contains electrolytes. Now, dead water is water that's no longer flowing, no longer has electrolytes, no longer has an electrical charge. And when you freeze frame it on a picture, it forms a formless, out of shape, unidentifiable shape. And so water is actually living. It actually has a living state and it actually has a dead state. Okay. And so now, why is it important? Alkaline water, we can already prove the processed version is unhealthy and contains minerals, aka inorganic compounds. Now we want to go to people who will try to argue they get it from nature. These companies have stopped the flow of these waters, okay, due to them extracting the water out of its natural habitat. They are stopping the natural process to which the water flows and becomes alive. And so what they're doing is they're making this water consequently the same way it would be as if it was being processed by them in the first place. So this water, even though it's coming from nature, is not able to manifest within itself electrical charge and electrons, and then on top of that, this water is being contaminated because it's not being allowed to refresh itself, and then it's not being able to get rid of the inorganic compounds that your body cannot digest. Let me give an example. Do you eat rocks? No, asshole. Do you go outside and just pick up rocks and eat them? No. Why? Because your body cannot digest rocks. So if you got water flowing up a goddamn stream and it's bouncing off of rocks and sediments are falling into the water, or fishes are, excreting into the water, or animals are drinking the water and bacteria from their mouth is falling into the water, and then you got these people coming to extract the water, okay? All of these inorganic compounds, aka minerals, are in your water. So just because you got it out of nature still doesn't mean it doesn't contain parasites from the fish, etc. Or what if a bear what if a bear went diving for some fish and peed or boo-booed in the water? Or killed it? What if an animal died in the water and now it's decaying dead body? Or fishes die all the time. If a fish died in this creek or died in this spring and the decay and the bacteria from the body is in the water, these companies are taking this water straight from these sources and bottling it up. So the water still contains inorganic compounds or bacteria or potential parasites that your body should not be ingesting. And so just because they say it got a nice pH level does not mean you're supposed to drink it. Now, how do you know if water is healthy for you to drink? Look at the way nature creates water. And this is why I say distilled water is the best. The way that nature naturally cleans water is through what? Evaporation, condensation, precipitation, aka rain, okay? Excuse me, now let me make my point. Water evaporates, condensates in the sky, precipitates. Now when water evaporates, aka becomes a gas, it goes from a liquid to a gas. All of the solids, okay, a solid cannot exist within a gas. Ice cannot exist within the air. You can't throw ice in the sky, or I can't pick up a piece of ice and just throw it in the air and it gets stuck in the air. But if I put ice in a cup, it can exist within a cup of water. But if I eat fruit, let me give you a better example, okay? If I take a cap, let's say I take a cap. Excuse me, let's not even say, let's say I take a nail and I put a nail, okay, in a cup. The nail will sit inside the cup of water. But if that water evaporates, the nail will still be in the cup. The particles from the nail will still be microscopically in the cup. But the water, okay, will contain none of these particles anymore because it's in a gas form. And so what happens is once the atmosphere carries this water here and it precipitates, if I collect this water as rainwater, this water is now fresh water. It has zero minerals in it, aka the form of minerals that are inorganic. So this is the freshest form of water that you can drink. This is considered holy water, aka it's never been contaminated. And so collecting rainwater is even dangerous now because they spraying chemtrails every goddamn where. And so even when rainwater condensates, okay, that's still not too safe because it has unnatural man-made chemicals in it thanks to these assholes that we call the government. And so that being said, the most safest form of water you can drink is distilled water, because distilled water is water that has been created in the same process as nature via evaporation, condensation, precipitation. So you can actually buy the fucking distiller right now off Amazon and distill your own water by the gallon. So what you can do is buy your favorite alkaline water, which you know has a good pH level, put it inside your distiller, and now you know your water is good. And then to even make sure it's good even more, you can get you a ppm meter, a TDS meter, and test the ppm level, and it should always say 0.00000. That's how you know you're drinking good water. And so now why is this important? I just went through every type of food that you can eat, water that you can drink, and went down the health statistics. And what is our conclusion? Bitch, ain't nothing safe. So why you motherfuckers over here keep arguing about what's good and what's not to eat? What's good and what's not good to eat? Nothing's safe, motherfucker. Air not even safe. If you a breatharian, bitch, you can't even breathe air no more because there's fucking chemtrails in that. And so there's women right now who's breastfeeding and the baby is drinking jet fuel because they breathing in this oxygen with all these planes going around. And so, bitch, you can't even breathe air safely no more, thanks to the fact that you don't control your own natural resources. And so why am I making this video? Because I'm tired of people keep bickering and arguing over dumbass shit. Bitch, if you're not controlling the resources, shut the fuck up. Yes, it's bad to eat meat. It's even worse to eat the motherfucker today because you don't control it. You don't farm it. You don't grow it. So it was even worse today because it's unnatural. They shooting these animals up with all these steroids, etc. than it was when you was eating natural meat. Yes, it's bad to, it's a little more so-called healthy to eat fish. But bitch, it's even worse today because these fishes is growing up in feces infested water and being biochemically contaminated by these industries. Yes, it's a little more healthier to eat goddamn to not eat meat but just eat dairy and be a vegan. But you contributing to the rape and pillaging of animals, and then half the goddamn vegetables and fruits you eating ain't shit. Yes, it's healthy and it's extremely healthy in the way to go to be a vegan. But bitch, if you're not farming, you don't even know if that shit got a pesticide on it or not. And if you eating food that is actually vegan and actually healthy, kudos to you and good job for you. But our job is not to bash people down who eat a lesser diet. Our job is to make people understand the science of why they want to eat a healthier diet. This is why I did that video, Dietary Manipulation, and my other video, Spirit Diet, where I broke down the spiritual sciences of how you turn yourself off from certain entities on the spiritual realm by eating meats and things like that. And so the point I'm trying to make is, stop going to war with shit because it doesn't, with people over shit that you don't control, because it doesn't make any sense, because everything has a form of contamination, all the way down to fucking alkaline water. So what is the point of this video? The point of this video is not to say, oh, you a meat eater and you're bad, or you're good, or because you a vegan. No, the point of this video is to let you know, whatever the fuck you eat is always going to have you at risk, as long as you don't control the upbringing of what it is you're putting in your fucking mouth. And so if you're not the one farming, if you're not the one harvesting these grains and these wheats and these foods, nigga, you don't know what the fuck you're eating. And so let this be something that jokes the minds of the people. That you can sit here and argue all day over what's healthy and what's not healthy. Cool. But at the end of the day, you're only arguing over that because you don't control it. Okay? Because there's a natural means of health hazards, and there's an unnatural means of health hazards. And so, how about you take control over what you put in your mouth and buy your own farm? Stop buying motherfucking $100,000 houses and $200,000 cars. How about you buy some land and farm and control what you feed yourself and your family, so that you can stop crying like an asshole when you in a hospital with cancer and you're dying because you couldn't stop eating chicken like a dummy. And so with that being said, family, water ain't motherfucking safe. Air not even safe to breathe. What the fuck I look like arguing with somebody because they eat meat? And bitch, I can't even take a deep breath without breathing in death. They say you're supposed to breathe because oxygen is prana. Prana is the life force. But bitch, every time I take a deep breath, I'm breathing in the death force. And so we have to understand that we are under, it's called biochemical and biological warfare. And we are under both of those. And until we acknowledge those, okay, nothing will be safe for you to eat. Nothing will be safe for you to drink. And bitch, air won't even be safe for you to breathe. It ain't safe for you to breathe. Let me reiterate that. Air ain't even safe for you to breathe. And in a minute, bitch, you're going to be walking around with a gas mask on. And so with that being said, family, this is dietary science. What is and what is not safe to eat or drink. And I hope this video not only enlightened you, I hope this video not only pushed you towards a more herbivore-based diet instead of a carnivore-based diet. I hope this video not only enlightened you on not only how to what type of water is healthy, but how to clean the water you're drinking. Hint, go get a fucking distiller, okay? And get you a ppm meter so that you can read the water that you're drinking to see if it's actually healthy, but to see if there's pieces in it. Because you see people do the test to see if water is alkaline. But bitch, just because it's alkaline don't mean it don't have microscopically dissolved solids within it. And so the alkaline test is one thing, but the TDS test is another thing. And so you need to do that too. And so that being said, as I was ending this video, I hope this video not only pushed you towards a more herbivore-based diet so that you can get your protein and be a strong herbivore entity as you were genetically created to be, but on top of that, I hope this video enlightened you on the fact that no matter what your diet is, you're not safe. And you won't be safe until you learn how to do for yourself and stop letting somebody else do for you. And with that being said, family, I love y'all. Peace.
We pop them bottles like ceremony. For that rid of my cup, it's a ritual. Yeah. I wake up and go get it, it's ritual. Yeah. Keep a queen on my arm, it's habitual. Ritual. Make your soul and your flesh like a ritual. Yeah. Think I don't, but I got it in here. Where that wine make them all disappear. Okay. Watch them hop on my dick like they finna do. Yeah. Keep my name in their mouth, it's habitual. Yeah. Back I wines in this bitch, make it magical. Pour that wine in my cup, it's a ritual.